All right, ladies, I think I saw a gentleman on here. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our second coaching corner. And I really wanted to talk about DMs because so many of you are either not, are just relying on your content to, am I glitchy? Do you hear me okay? I'm good. Okay. So let me first pause and ask you this because I know what's going to happen in the chat. When you think about outreaching or DMing somebody, what is the first word that comes to your mind to describe that? Probably going to see, right? Be my friend, scared, annoying, cringe. Yep. Hey, Jen, that was good. Right? We get this like icky cringe feeling around DM conversations. And what I, what my, this might be like twofold. We might need to go to the second part of this in the next coaching corner, but I want you to walk away today feeling confident when you're in the DMs and knowing how to navigate through them to lead you to potential new customers and clients, but from a service place heart, right? So you can't just like vibe your way into a business, guys. And I've seen a lot of like attraction marketing, attraction marketing, attraction marketing, attraction marketing. And listen, other people have different beliefs, but like me and how I've built my business is yes, attraction marketing, but attraction marketing gets attention, outreach converts it. So being like magnetic and being brave enough to make the first move in a conversation or in a DM, like that's where your business is going to boom. So again, my goal is for you guys to leave here tonight to actually have a strategy when you are in the DMs so it feels good and you're leading from service because both can exist. So most people think of outreach, it means automatically I'm pitching you something, right? I'm pitching you a product, I'm sliding into your DMs with like some angle, right? But that is not what we do. And this is how you're going to, I keep saying make network marketing great again, but like this is not, network marketing gets such a bad rep because so many consultants just slide into the DMs or message people with like some ulterior motive, or you're just pitching them. Authentic outreach isn't about getting somebody just to say yes. It's about showing up for people already and that are here on your platform and starting a real conversation with them. Like you can't just lead with like a fucking link. Sorry, I swear. Okay. If you've been on a training, like you know that's going to happen. So just brace yourself. If you're with your kids, put on headphones. Um, so when you lead with belief, you lead with presence, right? And you're not trying to get to the pitch, right? So many, I hear like even with my team and honestly how I used to do things, I'm like, oh, I'm RBAing, but in the back of my mind, I'm just waiting to pitch you. It's like, of course they're fucking ghosting you, Ash, because you're not, you're leading essentially with like an angle, right? So what we're really going to kind of go over here, and there's so much, like I have to actually bring up my notes so we don't get like off topic here. Okay, hold on, let me bring those up. Um, I want to go over with you how to ask better questions when you're in the DMs and how to get in the DMs from a service place. So when you're reconnecting with people and you're asking real questions, not just like, I see you have a dog. What's your dog's name? Like, but you're actually asking real questions and you're listening. And then you're letting the trust do like the heavy lifting for you. And when you do that, you're actually going to be shocked, ladies and gentlemen, how often people are then bringing up you're asking you about the product or the business on their own. It's going to blow your mind. So the truth is that your content and I want you to write this down, your content is proof of your leadership. Your content is proof of your leadership. It's going to show people what you stand for, what you believe in, and it's going to reveal like what matters to you. And one of my biggest pet peeves, and listen, I did it too, we become like these carbon copies of each other and we lose our voice. Like your content reveals what matters to you. What matters to me is going to look different what matters to Amber or Kendra or Laura, right? I'm just saying that because I know you guys love you. But content alone, and literally circle, highlight, bold this shit, content alone doesn't create growth. It creates curiosity. So outreaching, DMing, sliding into the DMs is a practice of your leadership. So it's where belief is going to like comes into action. So you're not pushy, but you're not reactive. You're intentional and you're leading with that presence. Does that make sense? So when you, the secret sauce, and I always and sidetrack here, if you have a team and they come to you and they're like, Amber, nothing's working. No, everyone's saying no. No one's responding to my poll. The two things that you need to continuously do with your team on repetition as a leader that's going to grow their business, the two things that are going to change your business is your content and your conversations. Those are the only two things that truly fucking matter in this business, guys. So what I do, it like I did it, Laura's on this call. I did it with her, was it today that I talked to you? Yesterday? I was like, all right, we're gonna go through your last three to six pieces of content, and I audited them. And then give me an example of three previous up-to-date like conversations you're in. And half the time your team is gonna be like, oh, I don't write people down or whatever excuse they are. They're not talking to people. Okay. You need the proof that if you can't help them outreach or conversate better, if you can't see what they're saying. And that's totally off the script, but like those are the two things that you need to help your team do better is content and conversations. Because when you combine content and outreach, AKA conversations, that's where you're going to build trust. And when trust, that is what like unlocks belief. And when you have belief in your audience and your prospects, right? Your potential customers or team members, that's what's going to duplicate. That's when people are going to join. And again, we all know that like duplication is what is going to continue to grow your business, a sustainable growth. So, and I'm not going to look into the chat because there's so much that I want to get through, but I will leave a little portion of time for questions, guys. So just like write down your questions if they come up, and I will leave time for that. So your focus, if you're, let me put it this way, if your sole focus is on attraction marketing, then you've become like fearful of getting into conversations with people. If you're like, all right, attraction marketing, attraction marketing, attraction marketing, attraction marketing. Yeah, okay, but that you're scared to fucking talk to people then. Because the magic, the secret sauce is attraction marketing, yes, but conversations. That is when your business is going to explode. And then you teach your team how to attraction marketing, content, what matters to you, and conversations. So the secret, oh, duck, oh, Jesus, ducky. Sorry, guys. Um, so the secret to success in the DMs, it's going to sound so simple. You need to start asking better questions, not give better pitches. So today what we're going to do is we're going to turn, I'm going to teach you how to turn conversations into new customers without, and teammates, right? Team members, without pitching, without feeling spammy or sounding like every other network marketer online. Because the secret isn't about sending more messages, guys. It's asking the right questions at the right time. So if you've ever said, or have you, just raise your hand, I wish I could find the right people for my business. I wish I could just attract the right people for my business. This training is going to change how you think about prospecting. Essentially, it's what you're doing forever. We're going to flip the script, okay? Because the real question is, how do we identify the right person? How do you identify the right person? And once you find them, how do you create enough value that they want to join you? You ask better questions, because with better questions, they become more curious. So you have to actually start to think differently. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do today, because people don't just join you because you explained there's 4 levels of management and you don't need, there's no auto ship and blah, 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 blah. There's team trainings and you can do, they don't care about that. They don't. They join because they've convinced themselves, not you've convinced them, because questions are going to persuade, and it's not manipulation. You're asking questions for them to discover if their current struggles, if they have any, can be fixed by your product or your opportunity. So questions persuade, reasons don't. So you sitting there in a conversation with a potential new customer or team member, and you giving all the reasons why, how the business changed your life, or what Arbonne has to offer, like, again, they don't care. You're trying to persuade them. They need to convince themselves. And you do that by asking better questions. Hold on, my mouth's so dry. So why most network marketers struggle in the DMs: talk way too much, you cart puke, or you you pitch way too fast, right? They're like, hey, Amber, see that green drink you're drinking? You send them like a fucking novel, you audio them, you send them a before and after, you send them your link, like you pitch too fast. And you assume, this is a good one, you assume that someone has a need for your product or the business without uncovering it. Guys, at the end of the day, everybody doesn't need Arbonne. Everybody doesn't need the products. Everybody doesn't need the business. So you, where, not you, but what most network marketers struggle with is that you assume that everybody you fucking talk to in the DMs needs this opportunity without uncovering it. And then another thing that I see is that you stay in this like friendly small talk, like land, I want to call it, like RBAing, relationship building activity. You stay in this like friendly small talk for way too long, because you're like, oh, okay, I don't want them to think I'm like gonna talk about Arbonne or pitch them about Arbonne. Da, 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 da. So if you look at your conversations, this is a clear like red flag. You know, when you like date someone and you're like, ah, this is it. Okay. If you look at your last handful of conversations where you were in the DMs and you're talking more, that is why you're not seeing success with onboarding new. If you are talking the majority in the conversation, that is why you're not seeing success. So if you followed me for a little bit now, you already know I'm going to say the copy and paste pitches, like get rid of them. If you are a leader and you have on your boards a folder that says verbiage, fucking delete it. Because right then and there, you're teaching your team. And listen, I had a verbiage folder for like the first 4 years of my business. And I wish I never had it, because then people second guess their voice of talking to people. So literally delete it, because you probably all have one. Stop rushing into, you need to see this. Like when someone's interested in the products or the business, you're rushing into like, oh my God, you need to check this out. You need to get on this call. Da, 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 da. Stop trying to convince them. because pitching to people without a need, like huge cross, like huge X, not cross. Amen. But that behavior, like the way that you're approaching DMs, like with the copy and paste and trying to convince and pitching them without a need, like that's why network marketing, people talk shit about us right then and there. That is why people talk shit about us. So you're going to start to stand out because you know how to slow down in the conversation and actually start to uncover real needs. Oh, I'm just looking at the chat. Good call, you want to voice. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, is everybody still with me? Okay. All right. So the foundation that I really kind of want to like break through here is sales equals service. So you right now, you're not a seller, okay? You're a problem finder and solution giver. You're a problem finder and solution giver. Because most of you struggle not because you can't help people. I know you want to help people. You're on this call because you want to get better. You want to serve. You want to help. But most people won't open up enough for you to discover their problem. So you need to fix, like, that's what we need to fix. And listen, when you start asking better questions in the DMs, ladies, a lot of like limiting beliefs, a lot of stories are going to come up because you are that person that is mirroring back the truth to people in the DMs, right? Their needs, their struggles, right? So you need to like stand in your ground because those limiting beliefs, when you start to challenge people to think differently on their struggles, their pains, it's uncomfortable, right? So, and I'm gonna go over with you like actual questions that you can ask, right? I'm not gonna leave you hanging. But just know that when you start to open this up for people to discover their problem, like you need to stand confident and remind yourself, literally, if you say that one line, I'm a problem finder, solution, and a solution giver. I am a problem finder and a solution giver. That will change your energy and make and help you just stand rooted when you're challenging people with these better questions. So there's actually four phases of like a conversation with a potential new customer or consultant, right? One, connection. So connect. That's going to be like your introduction, like your small talk. The second phase is the discovery. And this phase of the conversation is when this is where the magic happens. Three is inspire possibility. And then four is invite them to take action. And that action could be like join a group or an event or try a sample, get on a call, right? But most people either cram in and like stay in the connect introduction small talk forever and you don't know how to get out of it. Now you're talking about like her dog, her cat, I don't know. Like you're just in the small talk, right? Or you skip phase two, the discovery part, and you go straight to presenting like the possibility or inviting them to the action. Your job, ladies, and in your mind is you need to spend the most time in phase two, the discovery part. Because what you're actually doing in the discovery phase is you're identifying needs. Even sometimes your prospect, right? Your potential customer or potential consultant, sometimes they can't even see it yet, right? Like for example, if I'm talking to a mom who is working a full-time job, or maybe she's working two jobs, she might not even be thinking that, oh, wow, I lack time. She's just thinking this is just how it is. This is just life. So your questions are going to help her realize that she wants more. But where a lot of people struggle is you might not even take any time to discover those needs or identify those needs. You're skipping where the magic sauce is. So there's two types of needs that your prospect, again, whether it's product or team, that they need. One is an implied need. So this is going to be somebody saying, I don't have time. I'm exhausted. I wish I had more money, right? So when you hear this in a conversation, most network marketers, they like jump and they're like, oh, well, you need this because this does this for me, this has done this for me, and this has done this for my team, and da, 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 da. Like most network marketers just jump right to, oh, well, you need this. Instead, you got to slow down and you got to ask more questions. You have to expand their awareness because remember, you need them to convince themselves that they need your product and your service or the business. So you got to slow down. So the second type of need is an explicit need. So I need more income. I want more time freedom. And when a person or someone you're talking to reaches this on their own, now you can invite them in. My mouth is like so dry right now. Because people are going to join you when the seriousness of the problem outweighs the cost of solving it. So people are going to join you when the seriousness of the problem outweighs the cost of solving it. So your questions are going to raise the value of solving that problem. And we're going to go into the four types of question. And like I said, I'm going to try to leave like 15 minutes for us to chat here. So let me just open up the chat. Shit, you guys are talking too much. Can you repeat them quickly? Okay. All right, is this hitting? Let's get the chat going briefly. Like, where do you feel like in that process of the four phases, you can be better? Skipping discovery, yes. Like altogether, discovery, better questions. And ladies, when you lead with, again, I am a problem solver and a solution giver, you just want to talk to people. I never feel ick talking to people. And you know what? I'm going to call you guys out right now. How many people have you talked to today? How many people have you talked to today? 3, 9, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 4, 2, 7, 20. Steph, let's go. I'm going to prove to you. So can you guys see that? Hold on, I think it's too bright. Shit. Okay, so I followed up with 10 people. You probably can't fucking see it. Well, whatever, just trust me. You see it there, right? Follow up with 10 people. I asked 5 people and I started new conversations with 5 people. Guys, I've been in the business for almost 6 years and I still do this shit. I'm never going to be the national vice president that sits here and tells you to do something and talk to people when I'm not doing it. And you want to know what time I got this all done by? 6 a.m. And now I'm not messaging people at 5 a.m. If I did, they would all fucking unfollow me and never talk to me again. So, and this is totally off the script, but you can schedule a response on Instagram. If you guys didn't know that, like say you go and DM me, there's that little blue arrow. You can press that and it shows how you can schedule. So I schedule those to go out between like 10 and noon, 10 a.m. and noon, but I'm like doing my thing. And then I don't go back into my DMs like until the next day. Because if you're also trying to talk to people all day, who wants to talk to people all day long? Not me. So and you can do it on text messaging too if you have an iPhone, all you droid people. But you can do this, you can do the same thing on text messages too. So like I do all my activity before literally 6 a.m. And then my conversations, all that, it's just working. Julie, I'd love to know how you reach out to a new person on IG. Okay, Julie, if somebody came into your house, what would you say? You'd say, "Welcome, Julie, to my humble abode." You wouldn't just let them walk in and roam your house. Like, who the fuck are you? Right? It's the same concept on social media. We overthink it. You overthink just being a fucking human. If anybody comes and follows me, and honestly, if you guys have followed me, I don't follow a lot of Arbonne people. I'll be like, "Hey, Julie, thanks so much for connecting and the follow. I'm so curious, like, what brought you to my page? I'm also a fellow mom." Like, I'll go to her page if she's not private and I'll see if we have some type of relatability. And if we don't, I'm not going to message her. So you have to, again, like kind of back to what I said in the beginning, like you I think when we're trying to like build our business, we think like you have a specific person that you want to join you. So like everybody who follows you or everybody who's viewing your stories on whatever TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, like they're not all aligned with like your likes and dislikes, right? So if somebody follows me, to answer your question, I'll go to their page if I can. If I see she's a mom, I'm automatically saying thank you for the follow, like what brought you to my page? And that just sparks, again, that's like that connection, that's that introduction, that's that like small talk, right? So just think about it. How you message somebody. If somebody is watching your social media, ladies, like people should know now, if you're viewing my shit, I'm probably going to message you at some point. And if you don't want me to, then get the fuck off my page. Like it's my house, right? So like if you're in my house, I'm gonna greet you. I'm gonna talk, I'm gonna try to get to know you. I'm gonna try to connect with you. I'm gonna ask questions, right? Hold on. Jamie, so are these new followers you're getting daily? Because I'm not getting, okay, that I'm not getting that. Okay, so Jamie, that's a whole nother coaching corner. So I think what I'm gonna do, just side note, because in order for you to get into better conversations, again, content is what should spark that. And so many of us in Arbonne are just creating like the same green reel or like posting like your greens. Like I need to get to know you. And I could guarantee you if we did Instagram audits, you are still you have a mask on to some degree with your content. You're scared of, you want your content to people to like it. If you only get 10 views, you start to spiral, you delete it. You think it sucked. You think you suck at content. Like there's some mask that you are wearing with your content, and that is why people aren't starting conversations with you because you're not being yourself. So maybe we'll do that on the next one. Let's just do that on the next one because it goes with hand in hand. Okay, let's get back. See why I need notes. Okay. All right, so let's go into, let me bring this up again. Where are we at? Okay, so the four types of questions. So let's write this down. So the four types of questions when you're in a conversation, right? You're gonna have like number one, I call them like surface questions, right? So these are just like they're light, they're friendly, but they're not gonna like build depth. Okay. It's like icebreaker questions, right? Like, how are the kids? How's your week been? I see you're working at X. How's it going? Right? So these surface questions are like great for like warming up the conversation, right? When somebody follows me, and I'll just use that as an example. If I'm like, hey, Diane, thank you so much for following me and connecting. I really appreciate it. I'm so curious what brought you to my page. She's like, oh, workouts. Oh, cool. Like, do you usually work out at the gym or at home? So they're just like warming up the conversation, but not where like transformation happens. Okay. So that's like those surface questions. Number two, your discovery questions. So this is where you and just think like the surface questions you want to like ask sparingly. Like don't be asking 25 surface questions, right? Couple little drops. And then second are your discovery questions. This is where it's like you want to ask a lot and plenty because these are going to uncover your potential like again, team member, customers, challenges, desires, and like those like tension points in their life. So examples of this, are you feeling fulfilled in your work right now? Do you see yourself doing that long term? How has your energy been lately? What's been the toughest part of juggling two jobs and being a mom and trying to, get back to your fitness? So what I want you guys to do as kind of a little homework exercise is I want you to write down 3 to 5 discovery questions for a problem that the business and the product solve. 3 to 5 discovery questions of what your product and business solves. So again, it could be money stress, it could be energy, it could be time freedom, fulfillment, community, right? Because essentially what you'll see, ladies, is the better that you get. And do you see that the discovery questions, like maybe when I said some of those, you're like, oh shit, I would never ask that. People are going to think I'm pushy, I'm spammy, I'm cringe. This is where you need to stand rooted in I am a problem solver and a solution giver. Because those stories, those limiting beliefs, they're going to pop up when you're in the magic part of the conversation. But when you remind yourself that you want to help people and you're leading with service, you'll gain the confidence to ask more of these discovery questions. Number three, like deep dive questions, I called it. So these are going to go like beneath the surface. So this is going to help whoever you're talking to feel the impact of what's not currently working for them. So examples of this would be, what's it been like showing up to a job you don't love? How has lack of time affected your relationships or family dynamic? Another one like what moments do you feel you've missed because you've been stretched so thin? So your goal here on these deep dive questions is to help connect the dots that they might not have seen yet. Like I said, if there's a mom who is working a 9 to 5, trying to better her health, and then or maybe she, again, she's working two jobs. She has literally zero time for herself. She probably doesn't even realize how maybe that's playing a role. Maybe she takes that into being frustrated with her husband. And now she's freaking out on the kids every 2 seconds because she can't even go take a shit without somebody right next to her. So your goal here is to help them connect the dots that they might not have seen yet. Again, I am a problem solver, a solution giver. And then the last type of questions are these vision questions. So this is like the possibility stage. So this is when you help them imagine what is possible. So some examples of these questions would be, how would life look like if you had more time and energy? What would it mean to you if you had an extra $500 a month going into Christmas season? How would it feel to have more purpose with your work and a community behind you, cheering for you? This is where belief starts to build in a conversation. And your prospect begins to see themselves in a new story. So just think of these questions. This is like the belief building stage. And remember, not everybody is a fit, guys. Service is always going to trump desperation. So your job in the DMs isn't to turn every single person into a yes. It's to turn the right people into a fuck yes, like an empowered yes. Because you don't need better scripts, you don't need better messaging, like you just need better curiosity when you're in the conversations. Because when you start to ask the right questions, people sell themselves. And this is where, yes, remember, content conversations, why your content needs to be true to you. You need to take the mask off and allow people, because that's leadership. People need to know what you stand for. If you're just posting sale graphics, if there's any sale graphics on your feed, please, for the love of God, go delete them, like right now. But if you're just posting Arbonne and nobody even knows what you stand for, what you value, what you're behind, your story, and this is off the script too, but write this down. When you think of content, and we'll go over this more next week, or not next week, the following week, 40% of the shit that you post, 40% needs, your audience needs to feel that you understand the pain that they're in. 40%. So look at your content and again, I'll go into this like evaluation or equation, not evaluation, equation, but 10% should be your story. 10%. 40%, the majority of your content, your audience needs to feel seen through that. And we'll go over that. I'm getting off topic. Ash, stay focused. So your homework is I want you to create like your question bank. So I want you to write down 3 situation questions, 5 problem questions, or I'm sorry, where'd that go? Wait, stop. Wait, service. I named them like 2 different things, guys. All right, so three surface questions. Okay, 3 service questions. So again, these are like you ask them sparingly. Then you're gonna do 5 discovery questions. I would even go a little bit more with that, but remember, write 3 to 5 discovery questions around like a problem that you solve with your product and the business. Then you're going to do 3 deep dive questions, right, to help them connect the dots. And then do 3 vision questions. Let's see. Don't they just get ticked off at you? Don't they just get ticked off at you for pointing out their pain points when you ask the deep dive questions? So again, this is where your content is going to build that trust, guys. So if you are working your way through the conversation, if they do get triggered, okay, essentially ticked off as you're triggering them, you need to remember that you need to mirror back people's shit. If you really want to help people, if you really want to be of service to people, you need to trigger them essentially to you need to mirror back their shit. So that's what I mean. Like in these discovery questions and these deep dive questions, like you're going to make people uncomfortable. But if you really truly care, they need to have that conversation with you to get out of the fucking cycle that they're in of not feeling good, of stressing out about money, of not having autonomy over their schedule, not having a community of people behind them. So yeah, have I triggered people when I ask those questions? Yeah. But the way that I show up through my content, they trust that I give a shit. So that's why they both come hand in hand. Hold on. Let me just okay, we also aren't assuming anything. We are going off what they actually are saying, asking questions, not making statements necessarily. Yes, amen. Preach. Here's where I get stuck. I need to be doing the work and actually ask on a daily basis. And I do not have people coming to me from my content or new followers. Maybe a few that gotten treads, but nothing consistent. In this case, should I be focusing on content or am I looking at that wrong? So you need to go find your people too, ladies. You need to care about other people's pages more than you care about your own page, to be honest with you. Like my follow-ups, and let me clarify that, my follow-ups that I do every day, yes, I'm following up from previous conversations, but a lot of the times half of my follow-ups, I'm checking in with my clients. I'm checking in with consultants. So don't just think follow-ups are just previous conversations, if that helps. So, I mean, who just asked this? Jamie. So, Jamie, I would focus again, network marketing. You want to like start with your immediate network. So, if your immediate network is small, okay, start there. And yes, work on your content, but you need to be conversating with people. Guys, I gave the fucking post office lady a sample today because we were just shooting the shit. And she was like, "Oh, Rocky, he's so cute." I'm like, "Yeah, number 3." She's like, "Oh, I have 3." I'm like, "Oh, you do?" I'm like, "How old are they?" Da, 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 da. I'm like, "Oh, listen, anytime I talk to a mom, I always have these samples with me. I'm like, the fizz is gonna change your life. Next time I'm in here, let me know how you like it. Boom. Not weird, not cringe." She was like, "Oh my God, yeah, awesome." So it's like you talk to people every day. So I would focus on your content, Jamie. Um, but there's still ways to talk to people. I would, if you have 3 friends on Instagram, 3 friends on Facebook, you actually, how many friends do you have on Facebook and Instagram? Hundreds. Okay, start there. Get to know them. Just get to know them. Okay, hold on. Hold on, bud. That's one thing I get hung up on. I feel like I'm not doing work if I'm not directly asking people to look at Arbonne. No, guys, we're in network marketing. Networking is the business. Networking is the business. So your business building activity tomorrow could be you joining 2 free Facebook groups that are aligned with something that you love, right? I mean, I joined like mom ones in my area, and I just made a post introducing myself, 5 random facts about me, and why I wanted to join the group. And there was hundreds of comments. So part of my business building activity, I'm networking. I'm going into those groups every day and I'm just talking to people. If somebody posted that I like, I'm not just like, oh, okay, I have to go in there. I want to go in there and connect with them. So don't just think if you're not asking someone to try a sample, get on a call, book a party, whatever, that you're not working the business. Just network with people and start with your following. Start with your following. Okay. Is it appropriate to just randomly send a DM to someone you haven't talked to in forever? I always feel like they assume I'm trying to get to the point of Arbonne. I always say, like, rule of thumb, you want to build a relationship with them because it's like, why the fuck am I going to ask you about Arbonne if I don't even know you need Arbonne? You need to discover those needs. Again, think of that process of those questions and those phases. Remember, you need to spend the majority of time in the discovery phase. So you're probably just jumping from like connect to pitch because you're like, oh, I gotta get new. I gotta get new. I gotta hit this quote. I gotta rank up. I gotta da, 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 da. Like, guys, I operated like that for like 2 years being a national vice president. I could work. I could ask more people. I did operate like that. And yeah, did it produce? Yeah, but I got burnt out. I got burnt out and it just didn't feel good anymore. Like, yeah, do I think promoting to any level of management is absolutely badass? Do I think walking the stage in Vegas is like monumental? Yes. All those things are AIT trips. They're absolutely amazing. But if you're only focusing on showing up for your business because of those things, eventually that's not going to carry you through because you're not leading with service and you're making it all about you. So like yeah, you shouldn't ever DM someone to just that you've never talked before and just ask them about art. Like, what are you gonna ask? I will say on TikTok, it's like a different fucking world over there, guys. Okay. I don't even know if what I'm doing on there, to be quite honest with you, but on TikTok, I just make it, I don't pitch anybody. I just yap, I post some workouts, and then once every like couple weeks, I'll make some type of me making my greens, and I ask, "Hey, I'm looking for 5 women to try some PR boxes, some influencer boxes. Looking for 5 moms," and I got flooded with comments. So essentially, did I just pitch Arbonne there and got people to say, yeah, like, yes, I want a box. Yes. But if I'm like in a conversation in Instagram or Facebook, I don't just like blast them with Arbonne. I need to sit in that discovery phase and ask questions. If that makes sense. Um, I'm so stuck in the mindset if I'm not working my business. Okay. All right, what other questions do you have? Well, I don't even start a combo because I'm afraid they'll ignore me. Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't even start a convo because I'm afraid they'll ignore me and won't get into deeper convo. Okay, Laura, you need to give people the ability to choose. You have to give people the ability to choose that. You're assuming that. And that is linked to a self-worth thing, girl. You're assuming that they're going to annoy you and they're not going to want to connect with you. So give people the ability to choose. Give people the ability, you can ghost me or you can talk to me. My heart posture is here. I'm leading with, again, I'm a problem solver. I'm a solution giver. So people ghost me, people ignore me. I'm like, bless. So you can't assume what people are gonna do. And that's linked to you not feeling worthy of the thriving business. So we got to work on that. Let's go. Okay. Do you get all of your content ideas from social or do they just come to you? So I'm not going to go into content. I'm going to save that for the next one because that's like a whole nother beast. Oh, okay. So the PR boxes, I'll drop. Do I have one? Oh, no, it's way over there. It's a little shipping box, okay? And in it is a green synergy, a fizz stick, a detox tea, and a little sample of protein. And I will drop the flyer. This actually was created from women on my team. So, but I will drop it. What it actually looks like. It's just one side is like an intro. It's basically saying a little bit about me, thanking them for trying, and then asking them if they like it when they try it to share it to their page. So I'm getting into their network. And then on the other side, it's just breaking down how to use the products. So I'll drop it in my broadcast channel just so you guys can see, but they've been amazing. Okay. Yeah, it's basically a sample box. But I feel like when you ask people and you use the language of a PR box or an influencer box. And now listen, I'm not going after people like asking people that have like massive followings. Like when I say influencer, I just want to connect with women with these boxes that have a social media presence, like where they're not like scared to post on social, if that makes sense. Yes, order boxes. Okay. Oh wait, one more. If someone follows you but has a private account, do you always follow them back so you can message them? You can message them without following them back to see their page and engage more. No, because what you're doing right there, that's manipulation. Like if you honestly, and I'm gonna blast this girl tomorrow. I won't use her name because that's mean, but she followed me to then just pitch me. I'm like, I just saw what you did. So like if you are following somebody just to come across more genuine to them, guys, that's manipulation. I don't like I how many people do I follow? I follow 186 people. 186 people. So don't think you have to follow people for them to think you're more genuine in the conversation. And if someone follows you and you can't see their page, just again, thank them for coming into your house. But if you're following them just to like come across more genuine, that's actually manipulation. Okay, let's keep going. I love getting into deep combos, but I struggle with the small talk. Can you give an example of starting a combo with someone you haven't talked to in a long time? Just say that. Literally, just say that. I don't know if she's on here. Is Lolly, Lauren's on here. She's like, Ash, what did she say? She was like, Ash, when I reached out to so and so a couple months ago, I made it all about me. So how do I recircle in and ask her if she wants to try like a PR box? I go, dude, just say just that. Literally say, hey, Lauren, or hey, Ash, it's Lauren. I was so cringe when I messaged you about the squat and shot challenge. Like, I apologize. I'm learning how to do things better. And actually, I made it all about me. So I want to make this all about you. I want to send you a total PR box so you can try the samples. Like, would you be up for it? Like, just say what it is. You just got to talk. You know what I mean? So that you haven't talked to in a long time, just say that. Be like, hey, Jess, I haven't talked to you in a long time, and I saw you come across my page, or I was going through my followers, and I know we haven't connected. Like, how you been? Boom. I swear, we get into network marketing and we like forget how to talk to people. Like, guys, just be yourself. Be yourself. You don't need scripts. You don't need copy and paste messages. You don't need to know what your upline said. That, like, just be you. Does that make sense? I feel like going to unfollow a bunch of people. Honestly, it's therapeutic. Duck, don't start. Seems like the people following me only have 5 followers or are army widowers. I want real people. Okay, go find them, girl. Go find them. So the content piece, ladies, will help tie this all together because your content should spark conversations. But if you feel like you're not getting any new followers or you're not getting into any new conversations, it's because you are wearing a duck. You're wearing a mask with your content to some degree. So not next week, but the following week. Is that Thanksgiving? Hold on. No, right? Canadians are like, what do you mean? We already had Thanksgiving. No, it's not. Perfect. So what we'll do on the next coaching corner, which will be the 19th at 8 p.m. Here, I'm gonna stop recording this. Oh wait, never mind. I'm not even the host. On the 19th at 8 p.m.